So if you're using OpenClaw or any AI agent and you landed on this video, you're probably trying to figure out how to bring that cost down. And you're not alone. This is the number one thing I see people asking about across Reddit, GitHub, my own comment section. Everyone is dealing with this problem. And here's what I found when I actually went through the docs and the community threads. It's usually not one big thing. It's a few different small things adding up. And the first one is something most people don't even know is running in the background. OpenClaw has this background process called heartbeat. It checks in with the AI every 30 minutes. People are estimating that heartbeat alone can add $50 to $150 a month on an expensive model for doing nothing useful. And that's just the first one. I found 4 more things that you can do to lower your OpenClaw cost. And here are the 5 things in order. Number 1 is you should be using your existing ChatGPT or Codex subscription instead of paying per token. Number 2 is you need to fix the heartbeat. That's a background process that's costing you money even when you're not using OpenClaw. Number 3 is use cheaper AI models for simpler tasks instead of using the expensive model for everything. Don't try to do grocery shopping in a sports car. Number 4 is to stop the AI from rereading the same information every single message. Start new threads, start new sessions. And number 5 is if you're running OpenClaw on a cloud server, turn it off when you're not using it. Let me go through each one. Number 1 is if you're already paying for ChatGPT or Codex, like the $20 a month plan or higher, you can connect OpenClaw to that subscription instead of paying for tokens separately. OpenClaw's documentation says that this is officially supported. Now, yeah, Claude Code banned this and is giving users some trouble, but OpenAI, ChatGPT, Codex, they allow it. You log in with your Codex account, and OpenClaw uses your existing subscription instead of charging you per token. For a lot of people, if you're not doing this one change means going from paying $10 to $30 a day in API cost to paying $0 extra because the subscription they already have covers their usage most of the time. One thing to know, the amount you can use depends on your plan. It's not unlimited, but it's still the first thing to try before you start paying per token. And I've made this mistake myself. Initially, I just used my API, my Claude API to set up OpenClaw, and within a few minutes, my API costs were like $38, just within a few minutes. Immediately, I switched to Claude Code subscription when Claude Code hadn't banned OpenClaw, and my cost went down to 0 because I was now using my Claude Code subscription. So yeah, you can use your OpenAI Codex subscription to use OpenClaw. Number 2 is the heartbeat. Let me explain what this is first, because a lot of people don't even know this exists. When OpenClaw is running, it has a background process that checks in every 30 minutes. It's asking, has anything changed? Or do I need to do something? That's the heartbeat. The problem is each check-in isn't small. OpenClaw sends your entire project setup to the AI model every time it checks in. That's real money, real tokens being spent every 30 minutes, even when you're not doing anything important, when you're sleeping. And here's how to fix it. In your OpenClaw settings file, you can turn it off completely, set it to 0. You can switch to a cheaper model so check-ins cost pennies instead of dollars. And you can limit it to work hours only, so it doesn't run at 3 a.m. when you're sleeping. Or use something called isolated session. This means each check-in starts fresh instead of sending your entire project history. The documentation says this drops each check-in from 100,000 tokens to about 2,000 to 5,000 tokens. That's a massive difference. Number 3 is most people have OpenClaw set to use one AI model for everything. Usually the most powerful or the second most powerful model, and also the second most or the most expensive model. But think about this. Simple tasks like checking status, answering basic questions, or making simple config changes don't need the most powerful model. That's like paying a brain surgeon to take your temperature. So use different models for different types of work. A cheap model for background tasks and simple stuff, a mid-range model for your normal daily work, and the expensive model only when you actually need deep reasoning, like planning, some architecture for your application, or reviewing security. You don't need any special tools to do this. Just change what model OpenClaw uses depending on the task. That one change can cut your bill significantly. Number 4 is every time you type a message in OpenClaw, it doesn't just send the message. It also sends all the background information, your project setup, your tool list, your entire conversation history up to that point. And you pay for all of that, every single message. The longer your conversation goes, the more expensive each message gets because the history keeps growing. OpenClaw's own documentation shows an example where 13,000 tokens of background information gets sent before your actual question even reaches the AI. So what you can do to fix this is start fresh conversation more often. In OpenClaw, you can type /new to start a new session. Do this whenever you switch tasks. Don't let one conversation run for hours. You're paying more per message the longer your conversation goes. Number 5, this is something that only matters if you're running OpenClaw on a cloud server like Amazon AWS, DigitalOcean, or any virtual machine you're renting. If you're running it on your own computer at home, you can skip this one. The problem is your server is running and billing you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you probably only use OpenClaw 8 to 10 hours a day on weekdays. Some of you might prefer to run OpenClaw 24/7 because you have like cron jobs and scheduled tasks that happen every minutes or every hour. But for most of the people I know, you don't need OpenClaw to be running 24/7. The fix is to set up a schedule to automatically start your cloud server in the morning and stop it at night. It can be done really simply on places like AWS. When you're done for the day, the server just shuts down. When you wake up, it's already started back up for you. I did this with my own setup. One command starts my OpenClaw on AWS and one stops it at night. It saves me real money every month. Now, let's talk about what this looks like for a team. If you have a team of 10 developers, each spending $300 a month on OpenClaw without any optimization, that's $36,000 a year. If you go through this list, subscription auth, heartbeat fix, model lanes, cloud scheduling, starting new sessions, that number drops to around $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Same tools, same work getting done, just not wasting money on things that don't need to be expensive. If I were setting OpenClaw for a team today, here's what I would do. Connect to the cheapest subscription that covers the workload. Set the heartbeat to use a cheap model. Run in isolated mode, business hours only. Set the default model to mid-range for everyday tasks, only switch to premium for complex tasks. Make sure you are starting fresh sessions regularly. If you're using cloud servers, schedule the cloud server to run only during business hours, and that's the playbook. If your team is using OpenClaw and the costs feel off, I do this for a living. I help you optimize cloud and AI cost and help you get better return on investment on your AI and cloud spending. You can reach out to me using those links, cloudyeti.io/chat and cloudyeti.io/meet. You can also reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. Links are in the description. If this was useful, let me know in the comments which lever saved you the most money. And if you want me to do hands-on screen recording walkthroughs for any of these, tell me which one and I'll make that video next. Subscribe. See you in the next one.